Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Wildflower Wills channel. I'm here every Monday night casting on a brand new project that you helped me decide on. There is always voting. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all the places, hopefully, that you are on social media. You can find a spot to go and vote for either yarn, project, technique. This week, we were voting on colors of yarn. We're going to be here for an hour chatting about knitting. I'll show you what I worked on last week's new start, a couple of other projects. I feel like I don't have a super lot of knitting tonight, so I'll show you what I've been working on. Talk a little bit about this week's project, and then we'll chat and see what you guys have been working on. It's been a long weekend here, so it's been tons of fun. The weather has not been that good. For anybody who has wanted to camp or do any kind of outdoor activities, it's been pretty rainy, but it's been not too bad for knitting. So let's chat. Let me just have one quick drink because the sun has come out, the rain clouds have just disappeared, the sun's out, and it's feeling like a summer day, even though it's 8 o'clock at night. So hi everybody. I see Alice and Nikki and Sally and Anne, Susanna, Joe. Hi everybody. So grab your knitting. We're gonna settle in we talk for about an hour. And yeah, you guys will get hopefully a good quality hours worth of knitting done and no ripping out, hopefully. So hi Jen. So what we were voting on this week was yarn. I had a friend ask me if I wanted to knit Sungazer with her. And of course, you guys know I very rarely have I ever said no to somebody wanting to knit something? No, I always I can fit that in my schedule. I can do that. So that I was going to knit from stash for this sweater. We'll talk a little bit more about the sweater and the progress and everything in a couple minutes. So let's talk about the yarn. My friend and I went shopping. She used stash yarn, and I think she said she had to buy 2 more balls, I think. Interesting, she had enough yarn. She's doubling her yarn. She had enough in her stash, and then she had to buy a little bit more. And I thought, I went out and I looked at yarn, and I could hear I was gonna say this voice in my head, but it was probably you guys' voices in my head saying, "Louise, go look in your stash." So I came back and it took me a long while. I was like, "Ooh, I don't know." I'll show you a picture if you haven't seen Sungazer. It's a modular knit, so I'll show you that picture of it in a minute. And I was really having a hard time. It took me quite a while this morning to try to figure out what yarn. So this is some super, super old stash yarn. Now, I'm not sure if these two colors are both still available. I think it was Diane left me a message and said she had just bought this colorway to knit her very first pair of socks, which is super fun. So the orange is called Canyon Colors. So there's a little bit of orange, a little bit of brown. Guess that looks like Canyon. The blue, so these are both the same. They're the FX, so they are self-striping. They have a big long graduated, is that what I want to say? Sequencing colorway, color-wise. I don't know. It kind of goes from dark to light. So kind of graduated, fairly long repeats. Um, Clay colors. So this is different shades of blue down to kind of a really light blue gray color. So the blue is really pretty too. Let's see. Oh, Liz said I was at the beach, so I didn't vote. You were at the beach. Oh, I'm so jealous, but you pick orange. Okay, so this vote, you guys, if you voted at all, and we're kind of keeping track of how the votes were tallying up, you'll know who won. This one was definitely a landslide. It was definitely one-sided. And I really had no idea which way you guys would vote. If you would go with blue, a little bit more neutral, would look great with jeans, or go something bright and summery or fallish. Be a great Halloween sweater. And, go with something bright and go orange. Liz is giving me the drum roll. So Croy FX sock yarn, been in my stash, like, literally, this stuff has been in my stash probably for at least 10 years. It has just been looking pretty on my stash wall. I have a whole wall of sock yarn that I'm looking at here. It looks lovely, and I'm gonna have a big dent in it because I'm going to knit some of it. So, let's see. Oh, Jocelyn says, "Yep, you did not miss the reveal. I'm going to do it right now." So, without further ado, this week, the yarn that I'm casting on for the sweater, Liz has given us a drum roll, insert drum roll sound. Very, very one-sided. Orange. Orange. I think you guys are all feeling like hot, summery vibes here, which is great because I mean, I love the orange. I picked both colors. I looked a lot in my stash and I was like, the purple. You always remember the purple yarn that I have over there. It's the same thing. It's a purple FX. I almost put it into the vote, but I do have a blanket project decided for that. So I didn't want to give up any balls. So I went with these two. And I don't know. I think I could see myself wearing both. So the orange it is. So we had 122 votes today. I think since I've been started actually tallying and counting all the votes, that is the highest we've had. We always usually have right around 100, one or two, give or take, but we had 122 today. And it was 75% of you voted for orange. Yeah. It was yeah, autumn looks like fall. Well, or orange looks what did Anne say? The orange looks like autumn. Well, you guys know me, right? And you're probably thinking, let's go orange. She'll start it in July and get it done next September, right? Just in time for next fall. Yeah, the orange is I thought, "Ooh, this will make a good fall sweater, good Halloween vibe." But really, I don't know, it feels like a hot summer night, like the hot blazing sun. I don't know. Anyways, it feels really fun, and I'm excited to cast this on. So, have you guys seen the Stargazer? No, Sungazer, because it looks like a sun. It's a modular knit. So it's a paid for pattern. I can't even tell you the designer's name, but let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Oh, let me see. Can I get it up here on Ravelry? Um, Give me a second. So it's fun. It looks like a really, really fun knit. But my first thought when I first looked at it was you're really gonna have to pay attention to your gauge, your stitch gauge and your row gauge to get this one to fit. But it looks like the gauge is you got lots of room and I think. Let me see. So, hi, Louise. Louise says James M. Watts could be. Oh dear. Okay, let me see if I can find it. But it does, so I said it was modular, right? So you start out with a square. So we kind of have a square right in the center front, and then you pick up stitches along the sides of that square, and you knit little like sun rays out. Okay, well, this didn't search. There it is. There it is. Um, okay. Ooh. Okay, let me see if I can angle this. Let's try this way. Okay, can you get the gist of it there? So see that pink square in the center? That is where you start. And you work all the way around. So you keep doing your sun rays, and then the last and the first one, you seam those, or you knit them together, I think. Anyways, it looks super fun. Hi, Diane. Nikki, if you finish the shirt this summer, you will have an orange shirt for Orange Shirt Day in September. Look at that. You're right. I will. And because I never do for Orange Shirt Day, I never have one, which is odd because I love orange and I don't own an orange shirt. James and Watts. That's right. And so Oh, it looks like January of 2022, so it's been out for over a year. I assumed that maybe it was a newer pattern. Let's see here. What does it say? So it is a purchase pattern, so I'm not going to show you too much about it. But I will read. So it says Sungazer is a short-sleeved cropped sweater tee that is fun to knit and stylish to wear. The construction, let me go this way, maybe I can see all the words in one screenshot here. The construction is completely modular and seamless. All the magic of this sweater is achieved by picking up stitches and 3 needle bind off. Sungazer is designed with color changing yarn in mind, which is kind of why I went with this, because it does change. Um, But there is no limit to the fun ways you can make this pattern your own by using color. Use color changing yarns, solid colors, a mix of two, or even play with stripes. Sun Gazer gives you permission. Share your projects. Yeah, so Sun Gazer sweater. So he knit his in Noro Silk Garden Sock. So it says that's the recommended yarn for this pattern. You can use any yarn you can get gauge in. So this is where it gets interesting. When I read this, I was like, It says you can probably get gauge in sport, DK, or worsted. That's a big range depending on your gauge. Choose a slow color changing yarn, which this is. You can also use solids or scraps from stash, switch yarns for each piece of the sweater. So it has four sizes. So it goes from a 28-inch chest up to a 60-inch chest. Um, and then, just the usual. Okay, so for gauge, bow stitch gauge and row gauge are extremely important, as I thought. Because this pattern is knit in all directions, extremely geometric, swatch thoughtfully. I was going to say thoroughly. He said thoughtfully. And wet block your swatch before measuring. If your gauge is only slightly off, you can probably have a nice finished result with aggressive blocking. So, interesting. So then it does give you a fun schematic. So I think I can show you. This isn't yeah, so it just shows, like, the sleeves are knit in right along with it. They're just part of your sections as you're going around. The sleeves are just knit in there. Um, oh no. Okay, I just see a couple comments saying the audio is cut out. Oh no. Okay. Well, hopefully I've upgraded my my internet here. So hopefully for next week, things will be a little bit better. I called and complained about the service I was getting. So hopefully, yeah. So hopefully if it's anything on my end, hopefully by next week it'll be better. So fingers crossed. So we'll have to just stick it out this week. Fingers, hopefully next week will be better. So it seems like a really, really fun knit. I think this yarn will look really fun. And, oh, Liz, restarting things are better for you? Good, good, good. It does. It looks like a really fun knit. I can't remember how much the pattern was, but oh, it looks like it's 15 pages long. So it looks like there's good instructions, a lot detailed instructions. Let me look here again. So yeah, so it's nice. It's got a schematic. It's got lots of measurements here: sweater circumference, the length, shoulder to hem, neck, and sleeve circumference, abbreviations, and then it's written out row by row for every block or ray, as he calls them. So yeah, it's page. We're going and going here. Oh, yeah, and so, yeah, it's written out for different sizes, so I think that's why I think maybe every size is written out individually, maybe? That's why maybe it's 15 pages long. Um, yeah, so anyways, I'm excited. So let me tell you a little bit more. So my friend has already started it because I was a little slow in starting because I couldn't decide, was I going to buy yarn? Was I going to try and do stash? And then this whole thing, because as soon as I saw that it was knit in pieces all the way around, I was like, oh my gosh, your row gauge is going to have to be right on, because you can't fudge it, right? It's not like you're knitting top down or bottom up. You're going up and down, where if it's a little short, you can just knit a few more rows and make it longer because your length is going to be like the width of your rays is, going to give you the ray one, ray two, ray three. That's kind of your shoulder, waistline. That's it. So if your stitch gauge is off, your depth is going to be off. If your row gauge is out, then you're going to end up wider or narrower. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I had to get my head wrapped around it a little bit. So, Little Red Mitten, one of our local yarn shops, they were doing a knit along. So they put it in their newsletter saying that they were going to do a knit along. They said, come shop for the yarn. The girls down at Little Red Mitten are great with colors and putting colors together and things, and they would help you pick out colors. They had the Noro there. They could help you find other options as well. And then I think it was 3 Saturdays they were having like kind of an open bring your yarn, bring your pattern, and knit. And then they had already knit the sweater themselves, so if you had any trouble or questions, they could work you through it. Friend was gonna be on vacation, was gonna miss 2 or 3 or whatever, like, at least more than half of the kinda knit along days. So she's like, "Do you wanna knit with me? And we can just do it ourselves." So I'm gonna do it. So she's got hers already started, so I got to see hers. Now she wanted a really firm gauge. I saw the sample that, Jillian did at Little Red Mitten, and it is very open and very, very drapey. And I think that's more what I would want to go. My friend has doubled her sock yarn and it does it. It feels like a worsted weight. It's nice and tight, and that's the look she was going for. I want something to feel like a little more summery, a little more open. So we all know Croy sock yarn is a little bit thicker, so it's almost like a sport weight yarn or DK yarn. So I'm going to try and just gauge swatch with one strand and see what I get and go from there. So yeah, it's going to be a gauge swatching night and we'll see. But it should be a fairly quick knit because it just has little short sleeves and it's cropped. So this you just make 2 panels and you're done. So fingers crossed, this should not take me a year to knit. Having said that, we'll see. Maybe it'll get done for Halloween. I'm hoping I can get it done pretty quickly and and see how it goes. But I think it'll be fun and it'll be fun to see this knit up as well. So Susie says, I think the fun will be in watching your progress. Oh, and the color, I love orange. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to tackle this and see how it goes. So I've got my size picked out. I've got tons of yarn. This will take a good 3/4 probably of the yarn that I have here in my stash. So it'll be a good stash busting project. So I'm hoping it'll work one-stranded. I'm just kind of going up here to see what the gauge. Go back to the top of the 15 pages here. Okay, gauge. Does it tell me what's it say for gauge? 16 stitches. 16 stitches, 24 rows in a 4 by 4 inch square in stockinette blocked. 16 stitches. That is like a chunky weight with sock yarn. Hmm. All right, we'll see. We will see. So, okay. Anne says, cute, although when I see the guy in crop version, I was aghast. Well, yes, it's not typically what you think some men would wear, but hey, it matches his glasses and his nail polish. I think it looks quite stylish on him. Yeah. So super cool design. And yeah, I love that he's modeling it. I like that. So yeah, I'm ready for this challenge to see how this goes. I can't wait. No, and I know what you mean. It's yeah, it's maybe not what some people would choose, but if you like it, wear it, right? Do you get 16 rows? I know, see that I'm thinking, I'm like, this gauge is gonna be crazy because right? Like 16 stitches and 4 inches, that's what you get on like a chunky with like a 6 millimeter needle, right? And 16 rows in 4 inches. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I had a sock here I could measure it, but they're all not in this room. Yeah, I know. I'm thinking this could be interesting. Okay, well, I will keep you updated. Val, Susanna, do you want to? Oh, Val and Susanna, you're making plans to meet up. That's awesome. Hey, Sherry. I know. I wanted loose. I wanted looser. I know. I, okay, I feel like I need to. I'm gonna have to swatch this and post some pictures or something. So watch an Instagram. I'm going to. I know. I can't even picture this. No, thinking maybe I will have to double it. Okay. Yeah, I think that might be. I don't know. But no, I can't. I was gonna say I could go bigger size, right? I could go smaller needles, bigger size, but I think I'm doing the biggest size as it is because I'm kind of right in between sizes. What was the sizing? Hold on, I need another drink. As I was debating, there's 4 sizes, and my friend who is like half the size of me, like quite literally almost, well, maybe not quite, she's doing size 2. And when she told me she was doing size, I'm like, what? I thought for sure you'd be doing size 1. So I'm thinking if you're doing size 2, then I don't think I can do size 3. But size 3 and 4, the 2 largest sizes, I'm kind of like right in between. So what was the sizes to fit chest? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so size 3, the chest is 44 to 52 inches. And well, maybe, and then the largest size is 52 to 60. And I'm thinking, okay, I don't need 60, but 52 would be okay. 50 would be okay. So I'm like, I don't know what size to do. Either if I do the third size, if my gauge is off, I don't know as I want it to be 44. I think I'm 47. So I was going to go the biggest size. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on this. I'm gonna have to do a gauge. I'm gonna have to think. I'm gonna have to. I know. This is why I haven't started it yet because it's requiring a lot of brain power on my part. I think I just need to start it and get the center square done. Do one of the little blocks and see where I am. The only thing I wish it had was the schematic had a little more measurements as far as the rays. Like again, I mean, I guess I could figure my own out knowing the gauge. I could do my own math. But yeah, I know. It's like making my head hurt a little bit. So anyway, oh, Okay, we'll carry on. So Sungazer is going to be in progress. This will be a fun one to carry on with next week and see where I am, if I'm any further ahead or if I'm still thinking. Okay, because I haven't made much progress, you guys. This is last week's project. This one I have knit a lot on, even though I have just got a cast on row. I have knit, I've pulled out, I've knit, I pulled out, I've knit, I pulled out. I don't know how many times I have started this. This, but all I can tell you, I can't really show you anything except a lovely cast on row. But I can tell you without a doubt, this yarn is lovely to knit with. It's lovely to cast on with. It's lovely to I did get a little bit done each time and then I pulled it out. This is the Drops Soft Tweed. And this was the alpaca, la 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 la, alpaca and merino. And it is just as lovely as you would think that mix of 2 fibers would be. It's very nice and soft and light, very nice, and it's held up well to me pulling it out and reknitting, pulling it and reknitting. I I started doing an asymmetrical shell, and now I've decided, I'm like, maybe I will just go and just do a rectangular wrap, which means I'm gonna have to go buy more yarn probably, but that's okay. This is gonna be the cabled shell, and as you can see, it's off to a very slow start. But, hopefully we will have more to show you next week. I've decided though what I'm going to do. I tried a few different stitch patterns. Tried the asymmetrical route and the and I've decided I'm not doing anything that I was playing around with. And I did I have fluffies in my mouth now. That's when you swing around your yarn, you have fiber floating. So I did a cowl, and I was just looking to see, I don't think it's right handy. I did this cowl a few years ago, and I loved it. It really reignited my love of knitting cables, because cables is something I don't do a whole lot of. But I did this cowl and it was just random. There was no pattern. You just knit and you cabled whenever you felt like it. And I loved it. And I know some people, it caused them like huge amounts of stress because they didn't have something to follow and it wasn't like, work 6 rows cable, knit 6 rows cable. It was just you cabled here, you cabled here, you cabled here, da, 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 da. Totally random, and I loved it. So at some point, as I was trying out different stitch patterns and cables and twists and crosses and all kinds of funky things, came up with some really fun ideas for some more projects. All of a sudden, I thought, that random one, I love doing that. So I think that is what I'm going to do on this one. So that's why I went from asymmetrical. I went, I'm just going to do as a wrap so then I don't have to worry about the increasing and fiddling with that. I just want something fun I can knit on. So I think I'm on track. Fingers crossed. We'll find out more next week. But the yarn is lovely. It's going to be so fun. Okay, Sherry asked, is the schematic finished measurements or a range? Okay. Is the schematic finished measurements? So it is giving us, so what does this, the schematic, okay, let me look. Very good question, Sherry. Okay. Sweater circumference 40, 40, 48, 56. Oh, so maybe I should do size 3. 56 and then 64. Okay. Garment measurements. So that should be your finished garment with your ease included in there. So if that's size 3, if I go back up here, oh, it says finished garment. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. let's backtrack here a little bit. Okay, so where it says sizing, to fit chest, okay, so let's go. So the smallest size, 28 inches to 36 inches. The finished size of the sweater is 40 inches. So if you're 28 inches and you've got a 40-inch sweater, that's a lot of ease. But if you're 36, if you're on the larger end of that range, 36 chest measurement, and you've got a 40-inch sweater. 36 to 44 inches of body measurement, your sweater's 48. 44 inches to 52 inches, your sweater's 56. Okay, so that's where I think I should go. Size 3. All right. Oh, I know that is a lot of bees, right? Um, okay, I will try that. I will swatch. So then that gives me, so if I think I should do size 3, that gives me the size 4. So if I go down a needle size and my gauge is a little off, I can do the measurements and maybe go smaller gauge, tighter gauge, larger size. That gives me one size option to fiddle with. That could happen. Okay. Maybe I have a plan. Okay, sounds like you have a lot of leeway. Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that's when he says, like, if, your gauge is a little off and you block aggressively, I think, yeah, you've got you have a little leeway for sure. Okay, well, I'm just gonna cast on and do it. So this one here, so I think this is set, and we're all good to go. You guys, if you have this yarn in your local yarn shop, the Drops Soft Tweed, yes, Drop Soft Tweed, I would highly suggest giving it a try. And um, I don't know what is it. It's just a 50-gram ball though, but yeah, it's very nice. Like I'm really, really liking it. I would definitely buy it again. After I get this garment knit. So what else did I work on this week? You guys, I have a finish. I have a finish. I have to show this to you. Oh my, sorry, just as soon as it's like I have to have another drink. It's really hot. It is summer. It's lovely. Okay, so the blue yarn's going on the shelf. The orange is going to get cast on. Look at this, everybody. This is, remember the hand spun that I started a cowl with a couple of weeks ago? I know, a finish. And I have all my ends woven too. Not often. Well, not often. Lots of times I have my ends woven, but well, maybe it's kind of 50-50. 50-50 if I have my ends woven. I'm not too overly concerned about that. Um, but I did. Totally done. Ends are wove in and everything. And look at these colors, you guys. So, so fun. So I can show you another picture here. This was 2 small skeins of hand spun yarn that my friend spun. I had one friend, as she did the dyeing of the yarn, and another friend spun it, and I knit it. So it is, it's so gorgeous. This barber pole yarn, and okay, so this was okay. Oh my gosh, the lighting is terrible. Okay, can't really see those colors. I had okay. I'm like, all right. I had 2 small balls left this morning, and so what I wanted to show you was that I had 2 different colorways. And, when I look at it, I don't think like you can't tell that I really blended in. So this kind of the orangey colorway here, and then the orange and the green up here were that really tight, the smallest ball that I had. So there was a couple rows. I can't even entirely sure. I did every other row, and then I did every fourth row, and then this was the main color ball, and then a little bit up here. So Oh, turn the brightness on my phone down. Oh, Debbie, the brightness. Oh, I can do that. Oh, okay, I shut it off. Okay, some lightness. Okay, good job. I have smart people around here. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either. Okay. You're so smart. Okay. Oh my gosh. But there's like, okay. So see, you can see the one is more like red and black and pink, and then the little tiny one is yellow and orange. And so I just kind of blended them together. And I think it worked out really well. Debbie, you're awesome. Thank you. You guys are making me so smart because who was it? Oh, who was it now? I forget. I was having an issue with I had blurred my screen on Zoom. Do you think I could figure out how to unblur it? Do you guys remember that fiasco? I now know it is like drilled in my head. I know how to fix that problem now. So now I know how to fix the phone thingies. Debbie, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will look at that. I just I need somebody to show me what to do. So, anyways, it's done. So, I think the blending turned out really nice. I carried it up the inside and I started switching kind of like in the same spot, like here and here and here and here. And you could start to see that just that little stair step, right? When color work, when you're switching colors. So then I moved it down a few, carried the other color with me, and then joined and just kind of staggered it a little bit. But really, I think with all this color going on, you probably can't really tell. I'm gonna have to stare a long time to see where I started and stopped colors. So, anyways, I'm super happy with it. I used I was gonna say every inch I used except like about well, I don't know how many inches is this. This is what I had left. So I went as far as I could on here, and and I wasn't too concerned about where the beginning of my round was on here because you can't tell anyways. I was just working around, and then all of a sudden I realized both my balls were getting pretty small, and I'm like, "Ooh, I think I better start ribbing." So I don't even know my beginning of the round could have been here, and I'd already worked over to here, and I'm like, "Okay, we're gonna start ribbing right here." I don't think anybody's gonna know, right? I didn't get quite as much ribbing as I did on the bottom done, but, oh, I got it upside down. Anyways, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm actually thinking that I will turn it upside down, so where it does curl a little bit because there really wasn't I needed a little bit more ribbing probably to hold down flat. I'm just gonna flip it upside down and wear it with my cast on edge up here. And look at that. Is this oh my gosh, this is the first time I've actually tried it on. I mean, a couple weeks ago, remember I had started it and I tried it on and I had um sorry, I'm just reading Mary's comment. I'll read it out loud in a second. Remember I tried it on, I cast it on and I tried it on and it was like big, like it was the circumference was quite large. And so I just very scientifically went, grabbed it and like, yep, I think it's about that much too big. Counted how many stitches, pulled it out and cast on that many less. And this is what I ended up with. It's only 6 inches deep. I was kind of in my head was going for 8, but really 6. This is going to do the job in the winter, right? Put my coat on over top of it and wear it. So this is the bottom that is just flipping up a little bit because it needed a little more ribbing. But you know what? If it's inside my coat, I don't think it's going to matter. I love these. I love all these colors just blended together. Love it, love it, love it. Sometimes I love these little projects that are just you throw them together, you use up little odds and ends, and I think it's because I don't have great expectations. I'm just like, "Yeah, whatever it is, it is." and I love them. Sometimes what other projects, you plan them out, you know exactly what you want it to look like in your head. You want it to be this size and this color and to fit like this. And then it never turns out as great as it is in your head, right? But these, when you're just like, yeah, whatever it is, I end up loving these the most. And I'm going to be able to wear this and I'm going to love it. So, oh, Jocelyn, okay, you need to go make some late dinner. Have good night. Excited. Oh, I know Jocelyn and I are chatting Thursday. So our secret knitting is reveal is on Thursday. So join us for that. That'll be lots of fun. So, oh, Debbie, you love the color scale. I know. Didn't they turn out so good? And those two balls, like when I looked at them, I was gonna say, when I looked at them in real life, we were sitting on the beach and I thought, oh, they're all both bright. I'm like, really? Would they go together? But I knew from experience that once you start blending the colors in, that it would look fine. So I'm really happy. I can't tell you how happy I am with this. I'm gonna love wearing that. So, except I'm gonna be back again in the winter. Remember, every winter I talk about this. Every year I want to have like matching ensemble, like a matching hat, cowl, and mitts. Not gonna happen. I'm gonna have like a blue hat, multicolored cowl, and green mitts. It happens every time. Anyways, okay, so let's go back to Mary's. I chuckled at Mary's message. She said, I remember your video issues when you first started, not judging because I can only send messages, take pictures, make phone calls. I know it's a learning curve. And it's yeah, sometimes if you just gotta jump in and try it, right? And yeah, and just roll with it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, better next week. I don't know. But yeah, I've certainly feel like I've learned a lot, but I've probably only learned a smidgen of everything that there is to learn. But okay, did I knit? Oh, I have a little bit more I can show you. So remember this is the stash project going back to the beach when we were at the beach and we were dividing up one of our guild member Linda's she had doing some stash busting. It's acrylic and mohair. 90% acrylic, 10% mohair. Always find that a very interesting combination, but it feels soft, like it literally feels like a cloud. It feels as soft as it looks. Does it look soft to you? I think it looks very soft. So I've just been knitting on the outside of the ball, just pulling it off, doing an asymmetrical garter stitch, easy peasy. This is my, Netflix watching, and it's grown quite a bit this week because really I think I was only down about here last week. I had just cast on. So I got a fair little chunk done on it. There's 200 grams in here. So there's a good lot in here. So this will turn into a really nice big shawl scarf that I'm not sure. I may keep it for myself. I may give it away. I've got one more thing to show you. One more thing. I think one more thing. Did I show you headbands last week or a headband? I might have shown one headband. So I was on a little bit of a headband knitting kick. I'm sure I showed you one because yes, I had two. Oh, did I have two finishes last week? And I remember saying one was a headband because it seemed like a really tiny little finish. But did I have the flower on it last week? Do you remember that? I can't remember. So, but it's super cute. So I'm going to show it to you again because it was a lot of fun to do. So the first one I did was the seed stitch headband. Love, love, love this, you guys. I'm going to do this again for sure. This is some yarn that Suzanne from Knit Stitch is planning on ordering for the fall. It's more drops yarn. It's called Snow. It's a single ply bulky. Sally says Hallmark movie started today. Oh my goodness. That's exciting. Like Christmas movies, right? Christmas in July. Um, anyways, the yarn. So here it is. So it was lovely. 100% wool. So nice to knit with. I really, really liked it. This is a 50-gram ball. this is what I had left over. I was going for a nice wide headband, and I made it 4 inches wide. And then I did the cute little flower and put the button on it. So it turned out really nice. So there's, oh, it's nice and warm. So there, a nice big wide headband. So this was really just an experiment to see for classes for students if you could get a headband out of one ball, 50-gram ball, and you could with the little flower. So that was a fun little experiment, and I like it, and I think I would definitely make some more of those. Sam, oh, Sam finished 2 dishcloths and working on a 3rd. Wonderful, Sam. That's so exciting. And then I did another little one, and this one here is just garter stitch for like the very first project. Lots of times I use headbands for kids knitting, but I think this could definitely be for adults as well. And then again, I put another flower with just another button because it just looks cute. So this one's 3.5 inches, and it fits okay. It's all right too, really. I guess depending on what you like. I don't know. I think I like the wider one personally, but options, right? You got options. So if you cast on a stitch or 2 more or less, you're gonna get something that's wearable. I guess that is the moral of that story. So those were fun, and they're great to use, if you've got leftover bits or like a 50-gram ball. Um, the second one, the garter stitch, this was the Drops Andes, and it's really nice and soft too. It's more of a super bulky. I used a 6.5 millimeter with this. The other one I used a 9 millimeter. Oh, I really like the one too. Maybe a different color flower. That would look cute too. I was just, yeah, I just wanted to see what I could use out of that 50-gram ball to see if it would work. But yes, absolutely, mixing and matching. If you did, yeah, 2 different headbands and then switch the colors and did a contrasting flower, that would look fine too. Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong, right? I mean, anything is going to look lovely. So that is, I think that's pretty much what I worked on. I will tell you Thursday night when Jocelyn and I chat, I have another story about my knitting. Please tell me, does everybody else have stories about their knitting? Like some days I just wish I had no stories about my knitting. I've been talking for what, 15 minutes about my knitting. How can you talk that long about your knitting? It seems like it should be I cast on, I knit, here it is. What more is there to say? But when you have to start it 4 times, there seems to be a lot of things to chat about. It is just one of those things. But yeah, overall, honestly, I wish I'd gotten a little more progress done than I did, but I gotta finish. So can't be sad about that. And really, any progress is progress. And honestly, even this, even though all I have on is a cast on row, there was a lot of progress, a lot of, I want to say, like learning and, just figuring out different stitches and what I wanted and what I liked and what I didn't. So it was definitely not a waste of time. It was just one of those things that sometimes you just got to do until you kind of work your way through until you get to something that you like. So now I think I'm set on this one, and I can keep going. So, but this guy, orange, if you anybody's here who didn't see the winning yarn this week, it is the orange. This is going to be fun. And good heavens, if I just have stories about simple little headbands, what in the world are we in for with this modular knit sweater? It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, just finding my gauge is going to be interesting. Seeing how drapey do I want it? How lacy do I want it to look? I mean, I'm anticipating because it's cropped and I don't know. I'm trying to embrace the whole cropped thing and just like change my thinking about it because crop looks good on everybody. So I like, I see everybody of all body types, heights, and sizes wearing, and I think it looks fine on everybody. So I don't know why I'm so hard on myself and thinking, I don't know if I'm going to like the cropped or not because I'm already thinking I'm going to wear a tank underneath it and then throw it on over top. So if it's a little drapier and more openy, more lacy looking, that would be fine because I'm gonna wear it under something underneath it anyways and kind of go for a layered look. So I've got a cropped sweater, but a longer tank. I'm like already picturing like black underneath the orange, which may be more open. That's what I'm those are the words I'm looking for, Susanna. So I know a black tank underneath this is definitely going to give it a Halloween vibe, right? I mean, white would probably be fine. That would give it more summery look, right? Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I can't wait to actually get it knit and actually put it on and model it. Okay, Debbie's saying, "Oh, I get it. The last pair of socks I knit, I couldn't wait to get done. I knew when I wound the ball and it oh, it flew off the winder. It was gonna be her problem child." I know there's some projects that are just like that, right? That just right from the start, there is issues. It's not gonna be a smooth sailing project. That's too funny. I know. Does anybody else have that project? Like the whole, like, so you're talking, right? Like the center, what is that thing called? Post, column, tube, Susanna. What word am I looking for? I know sometimes I think when you put it in and if you don't quite twist it far enough, or I don't know if it um just spins enough. I don't know if it can come loose, but I know the whole thing can pop off sometimes. Yeah, I've had that happen before too. Oh, the issues we have with our yarn. My goodness. So, okay, since everybody's working on, let's just chat for another like 5, 10 minutes here. Stop making that hand move. Oh, stop it, Sherry. You guys are bad. Um, what else is everybody else working on? Anybody else close to a finish? Anybody else casting on something new? Anybody else? Have I inspired or have I totally scared everybody off? Um, doing a Sungazer. You could cast on this week and we could come back and compare notes next week. I could almost guarantee somebody's going to be farther ahead than I will be. But I know it's fun. It's good. So the Fiber Friends, we could talk just a couple minutes about the Fiber Friends. If you missed Cheryl and I on Saturday, we drew the winners for the Get Her Done challenge in June, and July has started, which is Christmas in July, which I'm totally excited for, you guys. We have never done Christmas in July before, and I think is now going to have, well, I guess I should consult Cheryl, but I'm thinking if it was totally up to me, it would just be a done deal. We would do this every July. So, which is why Sally mentioned that the Hallmark movies are on now. Okay, so Sally said she's working. Oh, she's working on her Christmas socks. Exciting. Hi, Autumn. Oh, just finished your Sosu mystery knit along. Today it's now blocking. Now back to all my other whips. Congratulations on a finished sweater. That's so exciting. Oh, Susanna, you were able to fix your shawl mistakes? Yay. That's good. Hi, Donna. Donna's working on a Christmas stocking. Oh my goodness. You guys, I was in chapters yesterday or indigo, whichever they're calling themselves these days. There was a monster stocking. Like I don't even know how big it was. Like it was huge. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I need to make one of those, and I need to fill it for myself at Christmas." The only thing is if I get that for myself, I'm like, everybody else in the family is getting are they gonna need one the same size? I don't know. I think the big ones are only for yarn. Nikki is spinning for the Attune shawl during oh, TDF. What is TDF? So the spinning thing. What's the spinning thing challenge called? The Tour de France. That's it, right? Tour de France. Yes, I'm thinking that the spinning thing. Awesome, Nikki. That's so exciting. Susanna, okay, Donna's working on Christmas stockings. Oh, And this is gonna be your first afterthought heel. Exciting. So Donna, are you putting in the waist yarn to hold your stitches? Or are you just gonna come back and just do you have a stitch marker in there and just gonna snip and cut or pull it waist yarn? I'm always interested to know. Susanna, see, Tour de Fleece. See, I got it. I got it this time on my own. I knew what it was. I was just like, what is that? Yeah. Sally, also working on a Christmas Chronicles 2 beanie. I think I saw yours posted in the Fiber Friends Facebook group. Oh, are you loving knitting it? So Nikki, that's in here, Nikki Knits, that is her pattern. And I knit it last year and I loved it. I loved it. Um, oh, Sally's, yes, Sally, Tour de Fleece, Donna. Oh, yes, you put in a waistline. Oh, waistline, yeah. Lifeline waist yarn. Or combine the two, waistline. Um, anyways, yeah, that's good. That's an easy way to do it. I think that's typically how I do it. Um, oh, Nikki, you're gonna go check out Sally's progress on the hat? Yeah, line. Yes. Yes, that's good. And that's good because then there's no guessing or being afraid of snipping the wrong stitch or the wrong row or whatever. And yeah, it just makes it so easy. Pull it out, scoop up those live stitches. Are you gonna do a couple of rounds to give yourself a little more depth for your instep? I don't know if you know if this is your first time. Your pattern may just say pick up your stitches and then start doing your decreases for the heel. But you guys chime in here. I think usually people kind of like to do maybe like 3 full rounds just to give yourself a little extra room to get a good fit. So that may be something to think about before you start doing the decreases. Oh, Liz, you posted a picture of your yarn tangle. Oh no. Oh, okay. Oh, you know that? Oh, that's the pattern you want? Okay. Yes, Nikki was our third winner. So we picked on the Fiber Friends, every month we pick 3 winners for patterns for Ravelry. And so yes, Nikki. Okay. Yes, if you want to send me a message on Ravelry and I will send that off to you. That's so exciting. Oh, Sally, you're almost at the halfway point. Very fun. Very fun. Good stuff. All right. Well, everybody, oh, we're right at the 9 o'clock mark. Well, everybody, it is Monday. So I know for everybody in Canada today, well, I think today was a holiday for most people. Saturday was officially Canada Day. So some people had Friday off, some people had Monday off. And I know for all of you, our friends who are in the US, tomorrow is your holiday. So do you guys all have tomorrow off, or did anybody have today off, to make it a long weekend? Or did some people take Monday and Tuesday? It's always tricky when the holiday's in the middle of the week, right? You always want to kind of extend your weekend if you can. But either way, it's nice to have a day off. Hopefully you guys have nice weather tomorrow. And if you're got picnics or parades or things. I know some places here had Canada Day parades, and um, some places had fireworks, but I know a lot did not because we're so dry and there's a fire ban. So a lot of fireworks I know got canceled. Liz has every day off. Well, cannot beat that. All right. Well, everybody who is celebrating 4th of July tomorrow, have a fun holiday. And I hope everybody who was celebrating Canada Day, we all had a great weekend, knitting outside, friends, picnics, all that kind of thing. Cindy, you've got every day off too. You ladies are so, so lucky. I am actually going back to work tomorrow for the first time since March. So fingers crossed. I am like, I guess I better I got to get back into routine here, back into work routine. And yeah, back to the real world kind of thing, back to the workforce tomorrow for me. My extended vacation is all done. I'm all healed up. Got the doctor's okay, can head back to work. So that's where I'm heading tomorrow. So everybody, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for voting. This orange is going to look so, so fun. Um, and I will be back here Thursday night, 7:30, so half an hour earlier than I started tonight with Jocelyn, and we will check in on our capelet knitting, which will be lots of fun. Sam, on Thursday at knitting, can you help me with textured owl with baubles? Absolutely. I would love to do that. You're right. I know. I have a list of things. I'm like clothes, lunch, water bottle. I mean, I've had 4 months off recuperating, and you would think I haven't been to work in 10 years. I'm like, I got to get my mindset back in the routine. And I'm sure I'll be back 2 days. It'll be like I've never even was gone, you know. So, anyways, everybody have a great rest of the week. And we'll catch up with you Thursday. If you can join us Thursday, I'd love to see you. And if not, we'll be back here Monday. You can vote for something else. And I will give you some updates on my knitting. So, everybody have a great week. Happy knitting and see you Thursday and Monday.